You have to understand something. Nobody is coming to save you. You can be drowning in problems, screaming for help, and the world will still scroll past your pain like it's just another post. Life doesn't stop for your struggles, and people won't pause theirs to fix yours. You can wait for a call, a helping hand, or a miracle, but the truth is it's you has to take that first step. The longer you wait for someone else to make a move, the deeper you sink into disappointment. The world will pat you on the back, tell you to stay strong, but they won't show up when you are on your knees praying for a break. That's not cruelty. That's reality. Everyone's fighting their own storm. People got bills, heartbreaks, and fears you can't see. And the moment you realize that nobody owes you anything, you free yourself from expecting sympathy. You don't need pity, you need power. You don't need rescuers, you need resilience. When life hits hard, it's natural to look around hoping someone will notice your pain. You want to believe that the same people you helped will now help you back. But often they don't. You will learn that help rarely comes when you expect it. That's not the moment to break down. That's the moment to rise. Because when nobody shows up, that's when you discover your strength. You will realize you had the power all along. You just kept handing it away, hoping someone would carry your weight. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop waiting for people to feel sorry for you. You stop complaining that nobody checked on you, and you start checking on yourself. You start speaking strength into your own soul. You stop saying, I can't, and you start saying, I must. That's when your transformation begins. It's not when people show up. It's when they don't. That's when you build muscle in your mind. There will be days when you cry yourself to sleep, wondering why nobody cares. But even those tears have purpose. They wash away weakness. They remind you that your survival depends on your fight, not their concern. Pain becomes your teacher, silence becomes your friend, and solitude becomes your strength. You learn to move without being noticed, to grow without being congratulated, and to win without being cheered. It's a lonely road, but that's where greatness is born. Every person who ever built something powerful went through a season where nobody understood them. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Life is testing your willpower to see if you can keep moving when there's no motivation, no applause, no backup. That's what separates dreamers from doers, self-dependence. When you stop waiting for people to save you, you start creating your own rescue. You stop expecting and you start executing. You start trusting your grind more than people's promises. You stop asking for permission to be great and just decide to be great. That's when your life starts shifting because you have taken back control of what was always yours, your destiny. Loyalty is a beautiful word until you realize most people only use it when it benefits them. They will call you brother, sister, or family until you say no. That's when you see their true faces. The moment you stop serving their needs, you become disposable. And that's where you must open your eyes. Loyalty isn't about titles, it's about consistency. Anyone can be loyal when it's easy. True loyalty is proven when it's inconvenient. Some people only stand next to you because it makes them look good. They like the light you give off, but not the fire you went through to get it. They want access to your strength, your ideas, your energy, but they don't want to build their own. These are the same people who will smile in your face, but secretly envy your drive. You must learn to spot these kinds of people early, before they drain you dry. You can't teach loyalty to someone who only understands convenience. They will show up when they need you and disappear when you need them. They will make excuses about being busy when your life is falling apart, but will expect you to drop everything when theirs is. You have got to understand that loyalty isn't about proximity. It's about principle. Stop expecting honor from people who lack integrity. When you start setting boundaries, people will call you selfish. They will guilt trip you for not being available 24/7. But boundaries aren't selfish, they are survival. Every time you let someone take advantage of your kindness, you tell yourself your worth doesn't matter. You can't keep sacrificing your peace to keep people comfortable. The wrong people will always paint you as the villain when you stop being their victim. There's power in saying no. There's power in stepping back and letting people reveal who they really are without confrontation. When you stop giving out loyalty like candy, you will see who was only around for the sweet part. True loyalty is quiet, steady, and rare. It doesn't need to be announced. It's proven through time and trials. But you will never find it if you keep surrounding yourself with opportunists. When you stop depending on fake loyalty, you start finding peace. You realize you don't need a crowd. You need clarity. You'd rather stand alone with truth than stand together in lies. Real ones will never make you question where you stand with them. They will show up when it rains, not just when the sun shines. That's how you know who deserves your energy. The best lesson you will ever learn is that loyalty to yourself must come before loyalty to others. You can't keep pouring into people who wouldn't hand you a cup if you were thirsty. Loyalty starts with you, respecting your time, honoring your boundaries, protecting your peace. When you master that, nobody can ever use you again. You have spent too much time trying to get people to understand you, support you, and believe in you. You have posted your dreams, your progress, your pain, hoping someone will say, I'm proud of you. But validation is a trap. The more you chase it, the more you depend on it. You will start adjusting your moves to please people who don't even care about your growth. That's how you lose your identity, by trying to fit into everyone else's comfort zone. You have got to stop waiting for people to clap for you. Some people will never cheer for you because your growth reminds them they have stopped growing. Your progress becomes their insecurity. Your confidence becomes their discomfort. You can't fix that. You can only stay focused and move forward. You are not responsible for other people's lack of self-belief. When you stop caring about what they think, you unlock freedom. You start creating boldly, speaking truthfully, and living authentically. You stop shrinking your light just to make others feel comfortable in their darkness. The ones meant for you will never be intimidated by your brightness. The ones who will talk behind your back because they can't handle standing beside you. Validation is dangerous because it's addictive. Once you get used to approval, you will start craving it. You will post something not because it's real, but because it's popular. You will say yes to things you hate just to be liked. But popularity fades. Purpose doesn't. Stop trading your authenticity for acceptance. Your worth doesn't depend on who notices it. It depends on you noticing it first. People will always have opinions. They will criticize you for being too loud, too quiet, too confident, or too humble. No matter what you do, someone will find a reason to judge. That's why you have to make peace with not being understood. You are not here to be liked. You are here to become everything you were created to be. The moment you stop needing their validation, you take back control of your direction. When you move with purpose instead of seeking approval, everything changes. You walk differently, you talk differently, and you stop apologizing for existing. You no longer need permission to dream big. You no longer need a crowd to feel enough. You look in the mirror and remind yourself that your approval matters more than the world's applause. That's real confidence. It's built from within. Every time you start doubting yourself because people didn't notice your effort, remind yourself, God did. Your grind did. Your progress did. You don't need to prove your worth through likes or recognition. The real ones will see your growth without you having to shout it. The fake ones will act blind because they fear your rise. Either way, keep moving. Stop confusing friendliness with friendship. Just because someone smiles at you, laughs at your jokes, or hangs around doesn't mean they have your back when it counts. Many people will act like they are close to you until life asks them to show up in the tough moments. Real friendship is proven in storms, not in sunny days. People will show their true colors when you least expect it. And if you are not careful, you will find out too late who was only pretending. Some people enjoy being around you for what they can get, not who you are. They want access to your ideas, your connections, your energy, or even your popularity. They don't care about your struggle, your growth, or your happiness. They only care about their gain. It's painful to see, but this is the reality of life. Not everyone who sits at your table is eating with you. Some are just there to watch and take. You will notice that when you start moving forward, certain friends begin to fade away. They become distant, cold, or critical. That's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of who they truly are. People can't celebrate your progress if they feel threatened by it. Your rise will unintentionally highlight their stagnation. That's why it's vital to recognize who is genuinely happy for you and who is only pretending, because investing your energy in the wrong people will slow down your own success. True friendship is rare because it requires sacrifice without expectation. It requires showing up even when it's inconvenient. It's about supporting someone when no one is watching, not when it's easy or beneficial. Real friends don't compare your struggle to their own. They don't compete with your dreams. They don't envy your blessings. They rejoice genuinely in your victories, no matter how big or small, and they stay when life gets messy. Some people will gossip about you, betray you, or use you without hesitation. They will smile in your face while secretly hoping you fail. That's why it's crucial to guard your heart and your trust. Not everyone deserves the intimate details of your life, your plans, or your struggles. Be selective with your circle. A small circle of real friends is more valuable than a crowd of fake ones who disappear when you need them most. You have to develop a sense of discernment. Learn to observe actions rather than listen to words. Some people will promise loyalty and never deliver. Some will claim love but bring drama. The truth is, people reveal themselves over time through their behavior, not their speech. Pay attention to patterns, not appearances. When you become aware of who truly stands with you, you will stop being disappointed and you will start investing your time and energy wisely. The moment you accept that everyone isn't your friend, you gain freedom. You stop expecting support where there isn't any. You stop chasing approval that will never come. You stop giving trust to people who don't value it. Your focus shifts from trying to please everyone to protecting your life, your dreams, and your peace. You start building yourself, moving with clarity, and surrounding yourself with people who genuinely lift you rather than drag you down. You cannot afford to wait for someone else to build your future. The truth is, the people around you are busy building their own lives, chasing their own dreams, and sometimes barely surviving themselves. Depending on them to lift you is a recipe for disappointment. The only person guaranteed to show up for you every single day is yourself. When you realize that, you start treating your own hands as the most powerful tools you have. Self-dependence is not just about working hard. It's about trusting your decisions even when nobody else understands them. It's about walking alone into rooms where others might doubt you and still holding your head high. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to validate your moves, you gain a freedom few ever experience. You stop shrinking to fit someone else's comfort, and you start growing to honor your own potential. When you rely on yourself, you stop looking for shortcuts through other people. You stop begging for favors or waiting for opportunities that may never come. You start creating your own path. You realize that your hustle, your sacrifice, and your discipline are the things that can't be taken away. No one can give you drive. You generate it within yourself. That internal engine becomes unstoppable once you nurture it consistently. Some people will walk in and out of your life offering promises they don't keep. Some will talk big about helping you, but when it's time to act, they disappear. That's why depending on yourself is crucial. You build strength in solitude, wisdom in struggle, and confidence in action. You stop blaming the absence of support and start taking responsibility for every move you make. It's not selfish to rely on yourself. It's necessary. Your life cannot wait for others to decide when and how you should progress. If you are counting on someone else's schedule, loyalty, or energy, you are setting yourself up to fail. Your growth must be independent of their support. Your peace must not hinge on their availability. You have to be your own champion, your own motivator, and your own source of accountability. When you start depending on yourself, you begin to see opportunities others miss. You don't wait for a handout, you create results. You learn that your effort is the only currency that matters, and your consistency is the only contract you need to honor. The more you rely on your own discipline and focus, the more unstoppable you become, and the more people around you begin to respect your independence. Self-dependence also teaches resilience. You discover that setbacks, betrayals, and failures are not the end, but lessons you can handle alone. You become capable of carrying the weight of your life with dignity and courage. No one can shake your foundation when it's built on your own effort, your own faith, and your own commitment. That's the kind of strength that ensures you will never be helpless. Even when the world turns its back, you have to stop thinking that everyone will get where you are coming from. Most people will never understand the weight you carry, the battles you fight behind closed doors, or the sacrifices you make just to stay in motion. They see a smile, a confident walk, a calm voice, and they assume everything is easy. They don't see the sleepless nights, the tears, the doubts, or the inner arguments that nearly break you. And that's okay. It's not their job to feel your struggle. Some people will judge you. Instead of helping, they will criticize your decisions because they can't relate to your pain. They will call your dreams unrealistic, your ambition selfish, or your resilience unnecessary. That's because your struggle is unique. It belongs only to you. Expecting them to understand is setting yourself up for disappointment. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop explaining yourself unnecessarily and start protecting your energy. When you stop expecting understanding, you start to focus on the only thing that matters, your growth. You realize that your fight is yours alone and that it's supposed to be that way. Challenges aren't meant to be understood by others. They are meant to shape you. Your struggle teaches you lessons no book, mentor, or friend can ever fully convey. It strengthens you, sharpens you, and prepares you for what nobody else can prepare you for. People often advise a place of ignorance, not experience. They will tell you how to handle your pain or offer solutions they have never had to implement. Listening to everyone else can confuse you, drain your focus, and delay your progress. The truth is you have to trust your instincts, rely on your faith, and make decisions based on your unique circumstances. Your journey is yours, not theirs, and the sooner you own that, the stronger you become. Expecting understanding from others also makes you vulnerable to manipulation. Some people will take advantage of your need for empathy. They will pretend to care, nod their heads and offer sympathy, but their concern is often superficial. They won't stand by you when it counts. That's why relying on validation from others during your struggles is dangerous. You have to develop an inner fortress where your strength, confidence, and clarity come from within, not from external approval. The reality is struggle powerfully isolates you. That isolation isn't punishment, it's preparation. When you fight alone, you discover capabilities you didn't know existed. You learn to make tough decisions, to endure pain, and to take risks without anyone else's encouragement. You start to trust yourself more than you have ever trusted anyone else. That's how leaders are born, how visionaries emerge, and how real change happens through solo battles that nobody sees. When you stop expecting people to understand, you stop feeling betrayed when they don't. You stop being disappointed by their ignorance or lack of empathy. You stop wasting time trying to explain your journey to people who will never get it. Your energy shifts entirely to your growth, your grind, and your purpose. You become unstoppable because your focus is no longer divided between your struggle and people's opinions. You have got to understand that not everyone deserves to know your next move. Sharing your plans with the wrong people is like handing them the key to your success so they can lock the door before you even get started. Some people are secretly waiting for you to stumble so they can feel better about their own lack of progress. That's why silence is not just wisdom, it's survival. Moving in silence doesn't mean hiding your dreams from God or from yourself. It means protecting your vision from people who would rather see you fail than succeed. The world is full of noise, gossip, and distractions. When you reveal too much too soon, you invite opinions, jealousy, and interference that can slow down your grind. Silence allows you to focus on execution without unnecessary energy drains. When you learn to move quietly, you start developing patience. You stop needing immediate recognition or validation from people who don't even understand your journey. You realize that progress isn't measured by who sees it today, but by the results that appear tomorrow. Working in silence forces you to trust the process, trust your effort, and trust the timing of your breakthrough. Some people mistake silence for weakness, but it's actually power in disguise. Quiet action is stronger than loud talk because results speak for themselves. While others are busy bragging, doubting, or gossiping, you are building, growing, and leveling up. You are preparing for a moment where your achievements will make noise for you without you ever having to explain, justify, or defend your path. Silence also protects your peace. Every time you share too much with the wrong people, you expose yourself to criticism, unsolicited advice, and envy. When you move discreetly, you shield your energy from unnecessary stress and manipulation. You create a buffer between your ambition and the world's negativity, giving yourself space to focus solely on execution and growth. Moving quietly doesn't mean isolating yourself from opportunity. It means choosing wisely who gets access to your plans and your energy. Some people will try to insert themselves into your journey to take advantage of your work. Others will subtly discourage you. Moving in silence gives you control over your environment, your decisions, and your energy, letting only the right people witness your ascent. The people who need to see your work will see it eventually. When your results hit, the same people who doubted, laughed, or ignored you will have no choice but to acknowledge what you have built. Silence doesn't stunt your growth, it protects it. It allows your focus, effort, and determination to multiply without interference. You move with power, strategy, and clarity because you have learned that the less they know, the stronger you become. You will know who your real friends are when life gets messy. Not when you are smiling, winning, or celebrating, but when everything around you is falling apart. Real friends don't disappear when problems hit. They stand beside you through the chaos. They don't measure loyalty by convenience. They show up when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, and even risky for them to do so. That's when you recognize true support. Some people are only around when it's easy to be around you. They love the highlight reels, the parties, the victories, but they vanish the moment trouble arrives. You will get calls unanswered, messages ignored, and visits skipped when you need help. That's life testing you to see who's real. You have to pay attention and stop excusing those who conveniently disappear, because your standards will determine the quality of people you let into your circle. Real friends don't require perfection from you. They don't judge your mistakes or criticize your failures. They simply stand with you and remind you of your worth. They show up with empathy, guidance, and encouragement when nobody else will. They will sit in silence with you, cry with you, pray with you, or strategize quietly without needing recognition. That's the rare energy that you must protect and nurture, because it's not easy to find. Fake friends often act supportive until a challenge affects them. They will be your cheerleaders when everything is going your way, but their loyalty evaporates when you struggle. That's why you have to learn to identify patterns, not promises. Actions always speak louder than words, and people reveal themselves through consistency. The true ones will be steady, even when the circumstances are unstable, unreliable, or downright ugly. You will notice that when you are at your lowest, only a few people will actually come through. And that's exactly how it should be, because quality beats quantity every time. Real friends prioritize substance over presence, meaning they are not just there to be counted in a social sense. They are actively contributing to your survival, growth, or emotional support. Those are the relationships worth keeping, investing in, and trusting with your life. Life has a way of showing you who matters in ways you didn't expect. The storms that make everyone uncomfortable will push fake friends out of your orbit. They will retreat, complain, or criticize. Meanwhile, the ones who really care will stay, endure, and help you navigate the mess. Pay attention to those who remain. When everything around you is ugly, their presence will be your compass in a world full of temporary and superficial connections. Understanding this teaches you a crucial lesson. Friendship is not about quantity, it's about authenticity. Stop surrounding yourself with people who only tolerate your light. Seek those who embrace your darkness too, who will show up uninvited when life isn't pretty. Those are the friends who will stand in the trenches with you, the ones who won't bail when challenges arise, and the ones who will remind you of your worth when nobody else does. You have got to understand that not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay. Some people are temporary, and that's not a reflection of your worth. It's just life sorting itself out. Begging someone to remain only delays the lesson you need to learn. You cling to them because of comfort, history, or fear of being alone, but holding on to the wrong people costs your peace, your focus, and your growth. When someone chooses to leave, fighting to make them stay is exhausting and fruitless. You drain your energy on arguments, pleas, and emotional manipulation, hoping they will see your value. But the truth is, people will only stay if they want to stay. No amount of reasoning or love can change a heart that has already decided to walk away. Accepting that truth is the first step toward real independence. You have got to stop confusing loyalty with neediness. Just because you love someone, care for them, or share a history doesn't mean they owe you a lifetime of commitment. Life isn't about keeping people who don't belong in your journey. Some doors close so that others can open. And sometimes you have to embrace the discomfort of empty spaces to make room for people and opportunities that truly align with your growth. Clinging to the wrong people only slows you down. It keeps you tethered to past patterns, unresolved pain, and toxic energy. It distracts you from your purpose and stops you from moving forward. Every second spent begging someone to stay is a second wasted that could be invested in yourself, your goals, and the people who genuinely value your presence. Realize that letting go isn't betrayal, it's survival. When you stop begging people to stay, you reclaim your power. You stop defining your self-worth by someone else's choice. You begin to realize that your life is not dependent on the approval, affection, or presence of anyone else. You are enough on your own, and your path forward does not require anyone's consent. Independence becomes a mindset, not a reaction. Some people will test you, guilt you, and make you question yourself when they try to leave. They will remind you of the past, the favors, the good times, or the sacrifices, hoping to pull you back into a cycle of dependence. But this is the moment to stand firm, to protect your energy, and to prioritize your future over temporary attachments. Strong people don't chase, they create. Learning to release people gracefully is one of the hardest lessons, but it's necessary. You must understand that some exits are blessings in disguise, even if they sting at first. The right people, the right energy, and the right opportunities will come, but only if you stop holding on to what wasn't meant to stay. Letting go frees space for growth, clarity, and alignment. You've got to understand that nobody is going to hand you success. Nobody is going to respect your dreams if you don't put in the work first. People admire talent, but they worship discipline. Hard work beats luck every single time. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your hardships, or your struggles. It rewards effort, persistence, and consistency. If you want to stand out, you have to outwork everyone, even when they are resting. There will always be people around you who claim they are working just as hard, but their effort is half-hearted, inconsistent, or distracted. The difference between them and you is the hunger to push past limits when everyone else stops. While they are sleeping in, making excuses, or scrolling on their phones, you are grinding. That's what separates ordinary from extraordinary. Doing the work nobody else will do, even when no one is watching. Hard work is not just about physical effort, it's about mental resilience and emotional endurance. It's about showing up when your body wants to quit and your mind wants to give up. It's about pushing through fear, self-doubt, and setbacks with relentless focus. The grind never lies. It will either elevate you or expose you. Your results are always a reflection of how much you are willing to push past comfort and convenience. You will be tested, ridiculed, and underestimated, but that's part of the process. People who doubt you will say you can't, that it's impossible, or that your vision is too big. That's when you dig deeper and double down. Every drop of sweat, every extra hour, every sacrifice compounds into results over time. While others quit, you stay, and that's how empires are built. Hard work is invisible at first, but it pays dividends when everyone else is still dreaming. Working harder also requires discipline and planning. You can't just put in random effort and expect miracles. You have to structure your time, prioritize your goals, and be relentless in execution. Every moment counts. Your hours are currency, your focus is power, and your consistency is what separates winners from dreamers. You start to move with purpose, making sure every action pushes you closer to the life you want. The beauty of working harder than everyone around you is that it builds confidence and independence. You no longer rely on validation, approval, or support because your results speak louder than anyone's opinion. You carry proof of your effort in tangible accomplishments. You become untouchable in your determination because your work ethic becomes a shield, a weapon, and a statement all at once. People begin to respect your grind, not because you demand it, but because it's undeniable. You have to stop telling everyone your plans. Not everyone is capable of understanding ambition, vision, or dreams that stretch beyond the ordinary. Some people are trapped in their own limitations, and when you share your goals with them, they can only respond with doubt, fear, or ridicule. Small minds cannot see big possibilities, and when you allow them into your strategy, they will infect your confidence. Sharing your dreams with the wrong people can slow you down. They may laugh, criticize, or offer advice that diminishes your ambition. They will tell you it's impossible, impractical, or too risky. Their words are not warnings, they are mirrors of their own fears. If you let them influence you, you will start to shrink your vision to fit their comfort zones instead of expanding into your full potential. You must protect your energy by keeping your dreams close to your chest. Speak to those who understand the stakes, who inspire you to rise, and who hold space for your growth. The rest are distractions. When you stop broadcasting your plans to small-minded people, you preserve focus, reduce unnecessary negativity, and create a mental environment where creativity and courage can flourish without being questioned or sabotaged. Big dreams require bold action, not validation. People with limited vision will question why you are taking risks, why you are pushing so hard, or why your goals seem too far out of reach. That's because they are living in survival mode while you are building your future. Their inability to understand does not diminish your path. It only reminds you to move quietly, intentionally, and strategically. Sharing too much also makes you vulnerable. Some people will take your ideas, replicate them, or even compete with you before you have a chance to execute fully. Small minds often operate with envy rather than inspiration. When you move in silence and protect your vision, you gain the advantage of focus and the freedom to grow without interference, criticism, or sabotage. Dreams are fragile in the wrong hands. They need nurturing faith and courage, not judgment, doubt, or unnecessary input. The less you share with people who can't think big, the more space you create for progress. The more you guard your energy, the more unstoppable your actions become. Your dreams grow in environments that honor ambition, not shrink under skepticism. You have to accept a hard truth. When you start leveling up, people around you will change. Not because you change them, but because your growth exposes who they really are. Some will celebrate, some will distance themselves, and some will resent you. Elevation is like a spotlight. It reveals loyalty, character, and hidden agendas. You can't expect everyone to cheer while you rise. Many will shrink or fade instead. Some people get uncomfortable when you progress because it challenges their own comfort zones. They are stuck in routines, excuses, and limitations, and seeing you push beyond their boundaries triggers insecurity. They may criticize, judge, or undermine you subtly, trying to pull you back to their level. That's why it's crucial to recognize that their reaction is about them, not about your worth or your potential. When you elevate, you attract new energy and opportunities. And the old people in your circle may no longer fit. That doesn't mean you have lost them. It means they were never meant to walk with you in the higher lane. Growth requires shedding energy vampires, distractions, and toxic attachments. Your focus, drive, and ambition need an environment that amplifies, not hinders your ascent. People who genuinely support you will rise with you even if it's uncomfortable for them. They will stretch, adapt, and align with your vision because their loyalty isn't conditional on status or convenience. Real friends don't shrink in the face of someone else's success. They find inspiration and motivation to elevate themselves. Their presence becomes reinforcement, not resistance to your progress. The ones who resent your elevation will show their true colors quickly. They will make passive-aggressive remarks, question your motives, or act distant. That's when you have to step back and stop trying to fix perceptions. You don't need approval from those who are threatened by your light. Their fear of change is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to keep moving, growing, and evolving. Elevation also teaches patience and discernment. You start to see patterns in behavior, understanding who genuinely supports your journey and who is only comfortable at your old level. It forces you to make tough decisions about relationships, boundaries, and priorities. You learn that true connection is not about proximity. It's about alignment in values, vision, and energy. Sometimes isolation is not a punishment, it's preparation. God knows your potential, but the world isn't ready for it yet. He'll remove distractions, false friends, and toxic influences from your life to give you space to grow. That silence, that solitude, feels lonely at first, but it's a sign that something greater is being cultivated within you. You are being positioned for the next level. During isolation, you are forced to face yourself. No one else can fix your weaknesses, doubts, or fears. You have to confront them, wrestle with them, and overcome them. This is where character is built. This is where true resilience is forged. God isolates you so that you learn to depend on Him and your own strength, not the temporary support or approval of others. Isolation also sharpens your focus. Without constant noise, distractions, and unnecessary input, your vision becomes clearer. You start to hear your own voice, understand your purpose, and identify the steps you need to take. The world will try to confuse you with opinions, comparisons, and pressure. But when you are alone with God's guidance, clarity emerges. Some will call it loneliness, but it's not. It's a strategic pause. It's a time to refine your skills, strengthen your faith, and solidify your mindset. The people who are meant to join you at the next level will return in alignment with your growth. Those who were never meant to walk your path will fade away naturally, and you will see the wisdom in their absence. Isolation tests your discipline and your endurance. It forces you to rely on your hustle, your prayer, and your vision instead of waiting for encouragement or recognition from others. Every lonely moment is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Every challenge faced in solitude becomes evidence of your ability to thrive independently. God is teaching you to be unstoppable before He blesses you with the next level of opportunity. During these times, you will have to trust the process without seeing the full picture. You may feel abandoned, misunderstood, or overlooked, But this is the secret space where your foundation is fortified. The people around you, the distractions, and the noise are all removed so that your character, wisdom, and faith can expand without interference. What feels like isolation now will turn into your greatest advantage later. You will realize that God's isolation is a preparation for elevation. The solitude refines you, protects you, and amplifies your strength. You will emerge sharper, more focused, and unshakable. The challenges and quiet moments you endure alone become the launching pad for your destiny. When you understand that this separation is intentional, you embrace the process instead of resenting it. Silence is not weakness. It's strategy. People often mistake speaking constantly for strength, but true power is knowing when to hold your thoughts, your plans, and your moves close to your chest. The fewer people who know about your strategy, the harder it is for them to interfere, sabotage, or underestimate you. Silence allows your results to speak louder than your words. When you remain silent, you gain control over your energy. Every word you speak carries weight, and unnecessary talking can drain focus and invite conflict. People will try to use your openness against you, twist your intentions, or create drama from your explanations. When you learn to move quietly, you conserve your energy for action, not for defending or justifying yourself to others. Silence cultivates patience. You learn that you don't need immediate recognition, validation, or approval to keep going. While others are busy broadcasting, seeking applause, or explaining themselves, you are building, grinding, and advancing. The quiet moments of preparation are where progress is truly made and results are born in the spaces where nobody is watching. People reveal themselves when you stop talking. Gossipers, critics, and opportunists will expose their true intentions when your energy is contained. Silence acts as a filter. It separates those who genuinely support you from those who are simply curious or envious. By moving quietly, you protect your focus, your plans, and your peace while observing who aligns with your vision and who doesn't. Power in silence comes from action, not words. You do more than you say, and that creates credibility. People begin to notice the results of your discipline, consistency, and dedication rather than the noise of your promises or explanations. Silent power is unstoppable because it is rooted in substance, not opinion, and it cannot be distracted by trivial commentary. Silence teaches respect for yourself and from others. When you don't feel the need to justify, explain, or compete in every conversation, your confidence radiates naturally. People start to take notice, not because you demand it, but because your consistency, focus, and results make an undeniable statement. The quieter you are about your work, the louder your success will sound. Silence builds clarity and focus. When you are not constantly speaking, you are listening, observing, and learning. You understand situations better, recognize opportunities faster, and make decisions with precision. Silence shields you from unnecessary noise and negativity, and it magnifies your influence because your actions carry more weight than any words ever could. The first step to independence is realizing that relying on others is a risk. People come and go, priorities shift, and loyalties tested every single day. If your foundation depends on someone else's support, you are vulnerable. True strength comes when you cultivate your skills, mindset, and resilience so that you can stand tall, no matter who walks in or out of your life. Building yourself starts with discipline. You have to develop habits that no one else enforces. Wake up early, invest in learning, work hard, and push beyond comfort. The more consistent you are, the more self-reliant you become. Discipline turns potential into results and ensures that your growth is in your control, not someone else's hands. Strength comes from emotional resilience. People will disappoint you, betray you, and fail to understand you. Life will test you in ways that no one else can shield you from. The ability to manage your emotions, stay focused, and continue moving forward despite setbacks makes you unstoppable. Emotional independence is as important as financial or physical independence. It allows you to navigate life without being shaken by others' opinions or actions. Knowledge and skill are your armor. The more you invest in yourself, the less you need to depend on others. Learn, read, practice, and refine your craft relentlessly. When you master your skills, doors open that were previously locked, and you no longer need someone else to provide opportunities. The power to create your own success comes from what you know and what you can do on your own. Financial independence is another pillar of strength. Money shouldn't control you, but it should give you freedom. Build resources, save, invest, and manage wisely. When you are financially capable, you are no longer subject to the whims or support of others. You gain freedom of choice, the ability to take risks, and the security to pursue your goals without compromise or begging. Self-confidence and self-belief amplify your independence. Trust in your decisions, your judgment, and your vision. Don't seek constant approval, validation, or affirmation from anyone. When you fully believe in yourself, you become untouchable because your success and peace are rooted internally, not externally. Confidence combined with action makes reliance on others unnecessary. Building yourself so strong that you don't need anyone allows you to attract the right people into your life naturally. Those who align with your vision will stay because they add value, not because you require them. Strength brings freedom, clarity, and choice. You stop chasing, stop begging, and stop compromising. And in that space, your life transforms, your purpose unfolds, and your independence becomes your superpower. You cannot wait for someone else to rescue you. Life doesn't hand out saviors, and relying on others to fix your problems is a trap that leads to disappointment. The truth is, your journey, your struggles, and your victories are yours alone. You owe it to yourself to step up, take control, and become the hero of your own story. Being your own hero starts with accountability. Stop blaming circumstances, other people, or past mistakes for where you are today. Own your actions, your decisions, and your path. When you accept full responsibility, you gain power. The power to change your situation, and the power to overcome obstacles, and the power to write your own ending. Courage is a requirement. Heroes don't wait for comfort or permission. They face fear, uncertainty, and challenges head on. Every time you take action despite doubt or resistance, you strengthen your character and build a foundation of resilience. The more courageous you are, the more unstoppable your journey becomes, and the less you need anyone else to validate your efforts. Strength comes from preparation and persistence. Heroes train, learn, and prepare long before the spotlight arrives. They grind in silence, sharpen their skills, and endure setbacks without giving up. Your life demands the same commitment. The more you prepare, the more capable you become of handling the battles that come your way. Preparation is your armor, persistence is your weapon. Self-belief fuels your heroism. You must trust yourself when no one else does, act when nobody else will, and rise when the world doubts you. Confidence is not arrogance, it's a deep knowing that your effort, your choices, and your determination will carry you through challenges. Believing in yourself turns obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Heroes inspire themselves first before inspiring others. You become your own source of motivation, your own cheerleader, and your own protector. When life knocks you down, you don't wait for someone to pick you up. You get back up, shake it off, and keep moving. That energy, that relentless drive becomes contagious, drawing the right people and opportunities toward you without needing to rely on anyone else. Ultimately, being your own hero is about creating a lasting legacy. The life you build, the strength you cultivate, and the victories you earn are yours to claim. You will face moments of solitude, struggle, and doubt, but the courage to fight for yourself ensures that you never remain a victim of circumstances. By rising as your own hero, you set the standard for your life, define your destiny, and prove that your greatest power has always been within you.